Ken, I actually got a good comment that I'll use to cue this up. And I know it's unrealistic because, everything was so set in stone in our league for so many years. But Justin in our comments goes, make the Mets fly to Pittsburgh for the makeup game. It doesn't matter for them. And who cares? You're finishing out a game like this. I actually think that's a good idea. Obviously, it wouldn't happen because everything has to be so officially done at Citi Field and make the Marlins go through hell. But your thoughts on last night?
Last night was terrible. And I saw a comment on Twitter saying that the umpires kind of blew it because they should have played through. 4 outs to go, just get it done. And last night would have been much more acceptable, I would say, if 2 nights before had not happened. And what happened 2 nights before was the real sin here when that game was postponed because the Mets did not cover the field on Saturday. We went through that. The Marlins' frustration here is understandable. They are already fighting long odds. They're without Sandy Alcantara. They're without Yuri Perez. They have one of the worst 5 offenses in the major leagues, and yet here they are competing for a playoff berth, and good for them. So to have these obstacles placed in their way on top of everything else, you do have to have some sympathy for them. And I know Steve Cohen apologized for the previous incident. There's no need to apologize for last night, but at the same time, you can see why the Marlins were frustrated. You can see why, ultimately, if this comes down to Monday, they're going to be really in a bad place in their heads.
Let me ask you this, Ken. We were talking about this earlier, where Scotty brought this up earlier about NL Manager of the Year. Do you think Skip Schumacher, whether he makes the playoffs or not, will be that NL Manager, or does he have to make the playoffs for him to secure this?
I don't know, Todd. It's a good question, and he certainly is a leading candidate. And usually with these awards, and I know I always refer to the story that I experienced earlier in my career. John Mozeliak, president of baseball operations for the Cardinals, said, "Manager of the Year, that's what you guys, the writers, that's us guys, determine at the start of the season which team has the longest odds of making the postseason, and then the team that defies the odds, the team that does something that you guys didn't think was possible, that gets the Manager of the Year." And there's some truth to what he's saying there, that we set the expectations as writers, and then we vote on the people who defy all of our great logic. So by that standard, Skip Schumacher should be Manager of the Year, yes. But I would say Craig Counsell deserves a lot of support. And you know what, too? Dave Roberts doesn't get much respect in these kinds of awards often because his teams are so talented. But given what he has had to navigate this year with his pitching staff, he too deserves mention. And how can you not talk about Brian Stitker and the job he's done with the Braves? So, Todd, there are a lot of really good candidates this year. But if the Marlins get in, yes, I would say Skip Schumacher should be the front runner.
Nice.
There's a Counsell.
Dude, the Marlins
Counsell's great too.
Yeah, Counsell's great. The Marlins offense is not good. Now the pitching, man, they're going through a lot. Bless you for whoever that was. All right, so Ken was covering